welcome back. It's Monday. That means it's another tip and another question that was asked from us this week. So let's sit back and see what we got coming up today. All right. So let's get started. This week our question came from a buyer that I was dealing with that was wanting to know, how do you go about selecting the right home? I mean, everybody just says, well, I want to live in this area, I want to live in that area. But what are some of the keys that you might want to look at? So that's what we're going to check today. We were talking with a new buyer this last week about what do we do when we're selecting a home? Where are we going to live? What do we want to do? How do you decide what's the best neighborhood? So we wanted to make a quick video with a few tips on finding that. So one of the things to first combine, where do you want to live? I mean, do you want to live somewhere close to where you work so you save on commute time? Are you looking for something with the schools for the kids? Are you looking for just out in the country a little bit more? Well, those are a few of the general ideas. But let's take a little step and break those down a little bit more. So what's one of the first things you can do? You drive up, you've looked at a house, you found it online, you get your realtor and you go out and take a look at that home and you're saying, man, this is just great. I really love this here. It's what time of the day is it though? Maybe it's early morning or midday and you're there while nobody's around in the neighborhood. And it seems quiet, it seems wonderful. So what could you do? Hey, think of a few things. Take a drive back by later that afternoon, or maybe on a Friday or a Monday evening, right as work time is going. See, maybe the road is very busy out front. If it's not right in a neighborhood, let's say that it's out on a main line. So you want to see if the traffic, what it's like. Is it noisy? Too congested to even ever get across or get in when you're trying to get home? So that could be one thing to look at. The other, what's it like as far as right now? It looks peaceful. You come back a little later at night and Saturday night there's just parties going on, fireworks going off, or maybe you're ducking down because there's gunfire going on. So what do you want to know about the neighborhood there? I mean, check up to see if there's gunfire or something too. Probably not the neighborhood you want to live in. Another way you could find out that too, though, so everything nowadays is online. People quit talking. In fact, most of the time this is how they talk to each other. They grab this little thing and they'll be sitting in a room talking. But rather than do that, why not go up, knock on the door at the neighbors here and say, look, I'm interested in buying this house over here. What do you know about the neighborhood? What's some things you might want to know from them? Well, one, are they a nice neighbor you're going to be with? Two, have they been living there quite a while, and why do they like the neighborhood? Maybe the neighborhood is new. Maybe there's a lot of people moving in and out all the time. So you'd want to know what's going on there. Why would they be moving, or why are they staying so long? Because they love it and everybody works together. It's good things. What about if you see a police officer driving by? Rather than panic, why not go up and ask the person, hey, what do you think of the neighborhood here? What do you find? I mean, we've done this when I've been out with clients. We're walking into a house and checking, and then we go out and we see an officer down the road. We'll go up and stop him and ask, or her, and say, what can you tell me about the neighborhood? And had them actually tell me before, you're fine if you go right down this street is good. After 5 o'clock, don't cross that street over there. From that border on, this is one area that's fine. Over here, we get a lot of calls. That might be the way they express to you rather than telling you certain bad, because everything's so litigious nowadays that we've got to, nobody's going to share things directly, but I've had very nice experience with officers telling us what's available in the home. So why not compare if there's schools in the neighborhood? Now, maybe you don't even have kids, but the other thing to think about is that when there's a school, neighborhoods usually hold their value better there for the families that do want to come in and have their easy place for their children to grow and the chance for them to play with other kids. So school can add value in many ways that way. Concerned with that. Okay, how am I going to get to work? How long is this going to take? Many times people are going to say, am I close to shopping? I want to just go get my groceries real quick on the way home or way out. And is it close to a bus line? Are we close to a freeway without actually living on the freeway? And not having the noise, but having quick access to get you. Maybe if you're going to Seattle for the airport and you want to have quick way to get on the freeway and not fight the traffic. How long is your commute going to be? What different routes could you take for this house? Does it have a couple different back ways to get there? If the traffic was heavy, you could try a back route. So some other things to consider. When you're talking to the neighbors too, you might ask them, what about how many people in the neighborhood are owner occupied and how many are renters? Nothing wrong with renters. It's just that the values of the neighborhood generally will stay up more when you have more homeowners. They're taking pride in their homes and taking care of it. Whereas at times someone renting is not going to be as concerned about that. It's somebody else's home. So if you have a high occupation of homeowners, you've got a better chance that the values are going to hold for your home and increase to be better to work with. So those are just some of the tips that you might want to consider that we get into in thinking about what is a good way to choose the neighborhood you want. You're not only selecting just the home you want, but the neighborhood you want to be in. So I hope these will be helpful to you. Look for us next week, Monday right here. Meanwhile, go ahead and just subscribe, and please share your ideas. I'd love to have you give us any questions that you'd want answered that we might not have already covered or that we have coming in the weeks ahead. Love to get there. So please subscribe, share this with your friends, and you have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday. It's David Cathers. Bye-bye.